Have you ever wondered why your creative thinking is amplified when you're in a positive state versus a neutral or negative state? It's like you can solve problems faster than ever before, or you can sell practically anything to practically anyone. If so, stay tuned because I'm going to explain to you why this happens, and I'm going to show you how you can move yourself into a more positive state so you can be more creative and have these results more often. Hi, my name is Tony Bodo. I'm the #1 best-selling author of The Complete Experience. I spend my day studying human experience and then teaching others like you how they can improve their experiences as a leader and how they can improve their customers' experiences in business. It shows that our field of vision actually widens when we're more positive. In addition, we can perceive more opportunities and possibilities in our mind when we are in a more positive state. The research actually goes even further and says that we are 37% better at selling on average and 31% better at problem solving. In fact, doctors who are in a positive state of mind are 19% faster and more accurate in diagnosing illness. That's because the chemicals and the hormones that are being released in our bodies and our brains allow us to have this higher level of creative thinking than typical. We literally are able to connect more dots than usual. It reminded me of a time that I was working with a hotel company, and they had 120 front desk agents and reservation agents who were having a really hard time upselling the premium rooms. In fact, what was happening is they were so caught up in how bad it felt, how dirty it felt to try to sell more, how they felt the fear of trying to make an offer of upgrades because they might be rejected. They were worried about asking for money. And so the hotel came to me and they said, "What can you do? Can you help us? Because we're just giving these rooms away for free if we're full and we can't upsell them." Each room was worth $40 a night per upgrade. That's a massive amount for that hotel, and it was worth millions of dollars a year. So the head of the department came to me and said, "What can you do to help?" And I flew to the hotel and I conducted a workshop with these 120 front desk agents and reservation agents. And during that, I helped them go through an exercise where they could literally shift in a moment from the fear of selling upgrades or being worried about asking about money or even feeling dirty about selling, so that by the end of the exercise, they were on fire. They were thrilled to share the premium rooms, and they were enthused to offer the upgrade to the guests. Now, give me a moment. I'll tell you what happened for them, how the effect was on them. Let's dive a little bit deeper into understanding why this happens. You see, to have new creative thoughts, you actually have to connect new pathways in your brain that didn't exist before. It's a creative process, literally, because you're wiring your brain in a new way. And what researchers have found is that the brain makes new connections in 4 ways. Now, you probably use each of these ways during your life. The first is repetition. We're all familiar with this because it's like when we were in school and we had to get things repeated again and again and again until we finally say, "Oh, I got it," right? Well, one of the ways that teachers have learned to give us repetition to make it easier for us to learn things are like when they use, the fun rhymes or the mnemonics where we actually get into a bit of a positive state and have some fun. It's easier to learn in part because we're in a positive state of mind, where our emotions are positive, and the chemicals that are running through our brain at that point in time make it easier for us to remember things. The second way that our brain grows, that it makes new connections, is when we experience something that's novel, something that's different than normal. So think about it this way. You could actually expose yourself to new environments when you're trying to solve a problem. Like maybe instead of sitting in your office staring at a whiteboard constantly, you go to a coffee shop that's nearby, something that you don't normally go to in the middle of the day, and think about your problem in a different place. That novelty, that difference for you may shake things up enough to give you a new idea about the problem you're trying to solve. Third thing is intense emotion. Intense emotion almost instantly wires a brand new pathway for us. And now these could be positive intense emotions or negative intense emotions, but typically it's in a state of arousal, high arousal emotions like fear, anger. Those are some. But we also got positive states of emotion like joy and happiness. So if you want to, one of the things that you can do, and I use this one quite a bit too, is going out for a walk in nature. Like maybe you've got a forest nearby. what happens is we found that the state of awe arises from within us when we're in a state of nature, especially forests around trees. And that state of awe helps us to come up with new creative solutions to problems. So maybe before you get on the phone to make some more sales, if you're having kind of a rough day in sales, go out for a bit of a walk in nature. Or if you've got a challenge that you're trying to solve, go for that walk in the nature and feel that sense of awe and beauty of nature. Just kind of forget about your problem for a moment and enjoy nature. The fourth way that we build these new connections in our brain, have new creative thoughts, is by focusing. When we put our attention on the thing for a period of time and we only see that, distractions, and we focus on that. Now, when you bring your attention to the good in your situation, so maybe again, you're having challenges with, you've got a problem you're trying to solve, you're trying to sell more. If you bring your mind to the good in the situation, focus on gratitude for the good things that are happening for you, for the possibilities that are in front of you, and you really allow yourself to focus there, you're amplifying and focusing on the positive things that are happening that changes your emotional state, and then you have some aha moments. You see, when we have this positive setting and we go through either of any of these four ways, the repetition, the novelty, the intense emotion, or the focus, we have this aha moment hit us. And the aha moment is the exact moment when the new neural pathway is connecting. And that aha is actually the feeling of dopamine and other chemicals rushing through your brain and through your body. And you say, oh, I've got it. I know what to do. And in reality, what's happening is that those chemicals are sealing the connection in your brain. So you remember that going forward. So you remember what happened for you. Now, these chemicals are just like taking opiates, these drugs that are either prescribed or illicit. Our body does the exact same thing and actually can become addictive for us to have these aha moments. Now, it's a good thing for us from the perspective that we grow and become a different person. So these positive experiences are very good for us. When you bring all four of these together, these four ways of doing things, the repetition, novelty, the intense emotion, and the focus, what happens is you actually supercharge your mind, your brain, and you're able to come up with creative thoughts, build new pathways, and do things you hadn't done before. And so this week in our Brave Leadership Mastery program, I'm going to take you through a process that I have used to help executives, entrepreneurs, and teams bring all four of these methods together in one exercise. And you'll be creating new neural pathways whenever you use this exercise. You're going to learn how to do it for yourself and how to tap back into it in an instant. Now, you remember at the beginning, I was telling you about the 120 front desk agents and reservation agents for this hotel. I taught them the exercise that I'm going to teach this week in the Brave Leadership Mastery class. The following week, they sold 4 times as many upgraded rooms as they had in any week prior. Now, I've done this with other salespeople, so it's not just a one-time hit. I actually helped one commission salesperson, and she went out there and she took this method that I taught her the next day, went to work, and in 3 hours was able to sell more than she had on her best sales day ever. I've also used this method personally when I'm doing analysis for clients and need to discover something new, something innovative for them. I use the same method I'm going to teach on Thursday, and it has helped them come up with new products and new services that they can offer to their clients. This powerful process works because it moves you into a positive state of mind. Remember, in a positive state, the research shows that sales go up by 37% and problems are solved 31% faster. So if you want to learn the most powerful trigger that I know for creative thinking, so you can improve your results, then go to www.braveleadershipmastery.com. That'll take you to our Facebook page where you can enroll and become a Brave Leadership Master. Sign up now. You can get the entire access to the entire month of Brave Leadership Mastery, where we're studying how brave leaders use creative thinking to achieve their business goals. And if you sign up now, you'll get access to this week's lesson where I'm teaching the most powerful way to trigger your creative thinking. Go to www.braveleadershipmastery.com right now.